Hi, I'm Dr. Lisa Thompson of drlisamthompson.com, and in today's video I'm going to share with you a real simple goal-setting exercise that can help you define your purpose. Now, I learned this exercise from reading this book, Building an Empire by Elena Cardone. Elena is the wife of Grant Cardone. If you haven't read this book, it is really an amazing read. I am thoroughly enjoying this. And Elena, I have a massive amount of respect for. Now, if you want to catch Elena, she is on Grant's YouTube channel. They do a show every Wednesday called the G&E Show. And they sit and they talk about how to really build a business empire as a couple. And they talk about a lot of the issues that couples have and how to overcome them. So it's really a great series. You want to check that out. Go subscribe to Grant's YouTube channel and make sure you also pick up a copy of Elena's book, which is available on Amazon in Kindle and Audible and also in paperback form. And in here, what I really loved is she really shares the story of how her and Grant met, and it's really fascinating. You might have heard Grant's side because he talks about it a lot in his books, but it's really interesting to see Elena's side of the story of how they met. And Elena and her background, she's a real tomboy at heart. Someone who loves cars. She loves to shoot. She learned that from her dad. She wound up getting into drugs and kind of a wild child because one of her best friends, she saw one of her best friends die in a fire at age 14, and it really traumatized her. And so she really carried that with her and really was reluctant to get into any relationships. Meets Grant, and really Grant threw her for a loop. So before she met Grant, what she did is she was thinking, she was kind of going through a lot of different, really couldn't hold a relationship with any type of man for a long period of time. And she thought, I'm just destined to be single. But then one of her friends suggested making out what she calls the list. And so what she did is she sat down and she wrote out a list of all that she wanted in a man. And the first thing she wrote is that has to be 6'2" and green eyes, and handsome, and listed all of these qualities. And one of them, and I thought it was very interesting in the book, she said, I want someone who could buy me Cartier if he wanted to. So Grant comes into her life, okay, and sits down and he gives her, they go out on a date, and he kind of loans her a watch. It says, here, kind of wear it. It looks good on you. So she has it on, and then she goes to the bathroom, and she happens to look at the watch, and here it says Cartier, and she freaks out. She's like, I don't know, this is moving too fast. I don't know if I want to be with him. So she's really panicking, only to find out that, Grant had it on loan. So he was just kind of renting it out. So what Elena did is she sat back and thought, she's thinking, why am I doing this? Here, this was one of the things. She went back and looked at this list of what everything, she wanted in a man and in a relationship. And one of the things she wrote, all of a sudden she looked at it and said, a man who would give her a Cartier whenever, if he felt like it. So then she sat back and thought, why am I having all of these feelings? And then she realized, you know what? I have to write down on the list who I need to be so that, because this is a two-way street, so I can attract. So then she sat down and wrote out a list of things she needed to be to attract that person. And so then she wrote those down and she grew into that. And then her and Grant, long story short, they wound up falling in love, getting married, and they are, and right now they are really building an empire. So what is the lesson from this story? Well, what you need to do is when you're making out the list, you want to write down, whether you're looking, we're going to keep this for the business side. Who is your perfect prospect? okay? Who is your perfect prospect who would benefit from your product, service, or business opportunity? Write down, be specific, okay? And then the second part of this is you have to write down to say, who do you need to become to attract that perfect prospect to you? Okay, because it's a two-way street. That's another thing I want to share with you briefly that I learned from internet marketing expert Frank Kern. He said core influence, if you want to be able to communicate into people and bring people to you, you've got to know who you are and who you need to be so that you attract that right person to you, that right client, that right prospect, that right rep to you, because it's all about a message to market match. And if you're in alignment with who your perfect prospect is, the communication's going to flow. It's going to flow easily. You're not going to be worried about what to say. You're not going to sound sales-like. You're not going to sound like a used car salesman. You're not out to get people. You're actually looking for people who are looking for you. So I hope you got value today from this video. If you did, leave a comment and share, and make sure you pick up a book. Pick up Elena's book. It is just a real wonderful, wonderful, awesome read. And I have a mad respect for Elena. And you can also make sure to check out Grant's YouTube channel, subscribe to that YouTube channel, and watch her show, The G&E Show. And it's really entertaining when you watch it because Elena really does put Grant in his place sometimes, and that, I have to admit, is really fun to watch. So thanks for watching. I appreciate every single one of you, and I'll see you in the next video.